Hi, guys. I want to welcome you to my coaching website. Relationships may be one of the greatest things we can engage in for personal and for spiritual growth. Some wisdom paths, definitely some of the ones that I've been on, are pretty clear that enlightenment is just not possible without others to provide the friction that we need for growth. Sometimes, unfortunately, that can be post-traumatic growth. After something has occurred, something has happened, something that is, an emotional trauma, physical trauma, mental trauma. At this moment, it may not feel like the identity that you want is within reach. I've definitely been there myself, but I can tell you that it is. As a trauma specialist and a relationship transformation coach, I know that who we think we are is who we feel we are. And who we feel we are is simply a process of conditioned autonomic nervous system reactions and responses. The really amazing reality is that we know more now about the brain and the nervous system than we ever have before. And with that knowledge, we know that we can rapidly create synapse and neural conditioning that can quickly allow us to let go of the felt sense of past emotional triggers, traumas that have previously anchored our identity in those triggers and reactions. So you see the golden key of mental and emotional health is this. We don't have painful thoughts or emotions. Painful thoughts are just a part of a multidimensional process where we have a thought that then sends a signal down into the autonomic nervous system where the body keeps score, where we hold pain. If you didn't have a painful reaction somewhere in the body with your autonomic nervous system, it'd just be a story. Well, it is just a story, but it's a story that's associated with your pain. So we now know that we can rapidly create synapse and neural conditioning that can quickly allow us to let go of the felt sense of those emotional traumas. As an example, pain or of heartache is actually a signal from the brain that radiates down into the vagus nerve in the neck, the upper digestive, and the chest. Feels realistically like you have a hole or even a gaping wound in your chest or stomach. And if you haven't experienced this yet, I got to tell you, it's probably coming for you because it seems to be a part of the human experience. What I've witnessed over and over and over again is how people, they get stuck in these loops of thoughts, emotions, and of course, these painful sensations, stuck in the suffering. They continue to suffer for days, weeks, months, and many even for years and for a lifetime. And it doesn't have to be like that. Our natural state when we came into this world was joy and grace. And I kind of represent that down here, this joy and grace, no little baby, right? And then somewhere along the line, life says, no, this is what you are. And it gives us a trauma or two or three or four or more. And then in order to have, to build or to grab at a homeostasis, a balance, we grab for that sex, that drug, that food, that dependent relationship, or any other number of things that gives us often a temporary obtainable relief, but not necessarily a long-term sustainable comfort. And so we then begin building this illusionary identity based off of this condition and reaction of trying to find this homeostasis that takes an enormous amount of effort for us to hold together. And the really amazing thing is that it actually doesn't take that much effort to be what you authentically are and what you came into this world to be. And so when we begin to melt these illusionary identities, we flow back into this authentic self. And when we can accomplish that, and we now have a lot of psychological techniques that allow us to quickly, rapidly synapse, bilateral stimulation, acupressure, different ways of creating distinctions that clearly show people how to make choices to do mindful inquiry of who and what we actually are, that can create very, very rapid, quick change. It doesn't have to be something that is an extended period of time. We can shift and feel different. And when you melt these illusionary reactivities that we condition ourselves with, and you flow back into our authentic selves, you feel free. You feel free in those places where the autonomic nervous system has been reacting. And so not only will you feel different, you'll be different. I want to show you, I want to invite you to apply to work with me personally, or at the very least subscribe and look out for the different methods that we try to get information out there, whether it be blog or YouTube channel or watching this site. And look for the different events that we want to introduce that show and give people opportunities to learn how to process these memories and traumatic experiences to flow back into our authentic self. I invite you to either apply to work with me or keep watch and learn how to dance the dance of rapid mental and emotional healing. So I am addicted to aha moments, and it's one of the reasons why I do what I do. I love it when somebody experiences a shift, and when they feel different, they're like, whoa, that felt different. What's that all about? And then they get curious, and that curiosity is that spark that's like they start working harder than you do, and that's what it's all about. When you realize that you can begin walking around the garden of thought, emotion, sensation in your body and figuring out how this works and how it is that you came to be who it is that you are and what you can do about it, I think it's really exciting. And I look forward to working with you. And I hope at the very least that you're able to grab a lot of great information here and make it work for you in your life. Take care.